What's up, everybody? We back with another message, another video. Thank you to all my new subscribers and future new subscribers. You know we do nothing here without God because everything is spiritually led by God over here. We cover the world from a spiritual and physical aspect to get the raw, real, and uncut answers. So anything you hear, anything you see in these end times, may you test the spirits, aka take the words and visuals back to prayer with God, as there are many Decepticons running around in these end times sent from the enemy. Had that strong, close, and personal relationship with God. Good, great, and awesome. All right, everybody. So real quick background. So the August 22nd warning that the Lord was giving me about praying for the drinking water. So in this particular dream, which I'm going to play back for you all, I was in this school, right? And it was a normal day. And all of a sudden people started getting panicky. Like the kids started getting panicky. And it showed hazardous water, right? So then they cut off that water supply, like you couldn't drink it because it was hazardous. So that's basically where the Lord started telling me, pray for the water supply. So now all of a sudden, because I knew something was going on, I felt it, but I didn't know what it was. And the Lord always lead me to certain things. Here we go. Now they talking about they investigating drinking water in public schools on the news. Like, we clearly know that things have been happening over the years, but they just haven't been announcing things. We know what happened in Flint and the lead in the water type deal, but now they saying, oh, well, kids ain't been able to use their drinking water. Now we have to do testing all over to make sure it's safe for the kids to drink the water. So the Lord already then told us before all this didn't hit the news, pray for the water supply. Because, you never know what your kids might be drinking at school or the stuff they're intaking from these places. You know what I'm saying? This was definitely an important one. So please, if you have kids that's going to some of these schools, and just pray that the drinking water is not contaminated and that it be cleared, and just in general, pray for the water supply. Okay, so this is just another warning. Pray for the water supply. Okay, because the Lord always tell us stuff way before they start telling us stuff, and more of this is going to happen with food coming out. Just like the Lord was warning the food shortages, and he said some of that stuff ain't real food, like seedless fruits and stuff. Don't be eating that stuff. So I'm going to take y'all to the prior word just so y'all can hear how the Lord gave me the dream, and then bring y'all to the news, the late news, because God give us the news before the news. So continue to pray for your kids' waters at their schools or even their health. And Father, I do pray for the health of the children, that there is no lead in their system and that they are healed in the name of Jesus, Father, because that is, you already know how they get down over here in the U.S. So peace and blessings, and I'll catch y'all. Here we go. August 21st dream that I had was about water, something happening to water. Okay. And so let me just tell you the dream. So in the dream, I was at this school and it was a normal day. Everybody was doing what they normally do, acting however they want to act and doing however they want to do. And then all of a sudden everybody started freaking out. And I saw like these girls were crying because this boy was sick, and then I looked in front of me at one of the doors, and on the door it was saying something about the water, like hazardous, or the water's gotten shut off because something's wrong with it. Okay. For some reason in the dream, like while all this was happening, we were looking for a guy who disappeared. And people were being monitored, like just watched over as all this was happening. So we were looking for somebody who disappeared, and people were being monitored and watched over as this water was being shut off. So this is what the Lord had to say. The enemy has a plan to cut off your water supply. Many have already been affected. Take heed and listen closely. You have the ability to pray against these things. I need my children to stop being in fear and stand up against these attacks with prayer. So that's what the Lord had to say when it came to the whole thing with the water.
Our GMA cover story, our series, The American Classroom. This morning, we're looking at the danger of lead-contaminated water in many public schools. Our ABC News investigative team looked into dozens of schools across the country, and 2020 co-anchor Deborah Roberts is joining us now with more on what they found. Good morning, Deb.
Good morning, Robin, and it's pretty alarming. You may remember those frightening stories about contaminated water in Flint, Michigan. Well, it turns out there's also reason for concern about safe drinking water in our nation's schools. Our team zeroed in on some complaints and discovered that in one district just 40 miles outside New York City, kids haven't been able to use their school water fountains for years.
And we're looking at the dangers of lead-contaminated water in many public schools.
Scary thing to even think about. The ABC News investigative team looked into dozens of schools across the country, and ABC's Deborah Roberts has more on what they found out.
Francis Galicia, a high school junior in Spring Valley, New York, is focused on sports and class activities. School's a happy place, except for when you're thirsty.